Welcome back to the Lifespring Age, episode 52, Plans Over Breakfast. A new day dawns for the Starlight Syndicate, and the group make plans for their next steps out of the many things pulling at their attention. Follow us on the socials. No, we covered off what had happened in the, after the fight, and then you got your new swanky digs. Thank you very much, Beth.
What?
And then two of you had a shared dream. So morning rolls round, as it often does. Bright, sunny. You hear... What sounds are coming from the kitchen?
Probably lots of pans.
Oh, yeah.
Like
clack, clack, clang, clang.
Yeah.
Classic. Well, if I'm up, everyone else is gonna be up.
No, she needs everybody awake. Like she's made the smell of like a freshly cooked breakfast will be wafting through the house.
Okay.
She's like, come on, get up.
Are you taking the chef feat, or are you?
I already have it. Yeah.
Oh, you already have it. So we'll treat. I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think you're going to need it. But these can be your special wicked tweets for the day.
I think she did that when she won the contest.
Yeah.
Oh right, sorry. It's very hard. There's fucking 6 here. 5 year rather for me to keep track of. But yeah, so you can use them for your
6 of us, James.
You were right the first time.
I was right. Okay, I thought so. Wait, no. There's
6 of
no.
us.
There's 1, 2. Oh yeah, of course. I was looking at bedrooms. There's 2 people in 1 bedroom. Sorry. I don't even keep track of it. So yeah, you're making the breakfast. I'm imagining like bacon, egg, shakshuka, bread, croissant.
Some vegetarian options.
Vegetarian options. I made this morning Irish sausages with fried potato, the tapas potatoes, potato bravas.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
What's in like Irish potatoes? Irish sausages. Sorry.
So there's a particular brand.
Oh no.
No. Just like the Irish goodbye.
Discord didn't want him to tell his secrets.
On a kilty, peak sausage. That's all I'm going to say. And they, the stock's going to skyrocket. I know. I just dropped out for like 20 seconds.
Okay, cool.
It did.
I just imagine you were there like sausages.
Honestly, I was waxing lyrical about how good these sausages are. You can only really get
such a shame we will never be able to hear it.
I'm gonna have to mark this as promotional content at this point. Right, but yeah, they're my favourite sausages, and I did the potato. Anyway, so not important. Not what we're here to talk about. So all the clatter in the pans is going on. I don't know who's getting up when, but Azalea, just as you're stirring, there's like a gentle little tap on. Yeah, this is there's a gentle little knock on the door, and as you hear dulcet tones of, Ezzy, you going to be doing your morning routine?
I am, yeah. Are you going to join me?
Oh yeah, I've been trying to keep up because ever since I got hurt, my leg's been bagged.
Oh no, I guess we can't do the couples moves.
I'm willing to try.
Bright red. Fire engine red.
So she's very keen. You weren't there for it, but she was actually trying to do the yoga without you. Wasn't doing a brilliant job because she was following the movements rather than understanding them. If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So
who else used to do yoga? There was a few of us that did it.
It was. I think it was all the ladies but Lou.
Yeah.
Okay. I think
that sounds right.
I think Azalea would go about trying to round people up ideally to see if they want to join as well.
I think Rusty helped. Rusty tried it.
Yeah, Rusty was impressively good at it because he's got like very little.
Oh, really good athletics as well.
Yeah.
Fluffy would probably do it like midway through cooking, so she'd get into a yoga pose and then be like, "Oh, I need to check the sausages," and like run up to
Warrior
the kitchen.
1. Let's grab the waffles.
Well, I'm just gonna stay in bed, but I'll use my Echo as surveillance camera in the kitchen to see when breakfast is ready. Because I can now...
If you're willing to have do yoga with you, I'm alright. Okay.
Let's get limber. So, Azalea,
do it in the new garden.
Do it in the new garden.
Okay, yeah. I think
But we're on the third. There's a garden on the 3rd floor.
Yes, it's like
It
it's like
works,
one of
don't worry
those
about it.
Balcony garden.
It's one of those windowsill vegetable planters that magically extends. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Aeon
As
and
ever,
Captain Magic.
I think we're starting it nice and easy. We're starting with our morning sun salutation. We're going all the way through it. I think once we get through a couple of rotations of that, we're going to move into. I actually don't know yoga well enough to do this.
Downward dog.
That's part of sun salutation.
It's the only one I can name.
There's lotus pose as well. It's the only other one I know.
Yeah, the one I love is child. You just lay there. It's great.
Oh, then I'm great at yoga.
Yeah.
You sort of like go on your knees and curl up, and then just lay your forehead on the floor, and that's it.
Yeah.
Like
Incredible.
sleeping.
So everyone who's doing yoga, if you'd like to make an athletics check, if
You always said
roll
athletics or acrobatics.
athletics or acrobatics, if you roll over, what's your spellcasting DC, Azalea? Like a save? It's like 16, 17?
Yeah. Let me just double check because I've got the grimoire. Tis 16.
16. If you roll over a 16, you can add a D4 to any physical check you make today because you're so fucking limber.
Oh.
So,
Wow, Riptide does great.
Riptide is. Yeah, Riptide.
Oh,
Azalea,
baby!
the teacher does great.
Yeah. I mean, you don't hurt
Laffy's
yourself.
going face first into that fountain.
Laffy's just worried about her food.
Yeah.
Remember, hero points.
I'm not using a hero point on fucking yoga.
I will.
Why not?
You're
It's
so
hours.
wound up, you're a bit stiff.
James,
Like
I've got one hero point left. I'm not using it on yoga.
Why not?
But yeah.
What was the save, by the way? Did you say it was
16.
Not a
Yeah, don't
save,
you want
it's
to
like
hit
the
that
check
warrior
is-
one
is
post?
16.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yes, you meet it. So any physical check you make today, not attack, any physical like athletics, acrobatics, anything that could be assisted by being good at yoga for the next 24 hours, you can add a D4 to.
I was gonna say something so out of pocket, and I am. Shut.
You're gonna have to say it now. Though.
You have
That's
to
the
say
issue.
it now.
Yeah.
No, this is a public space.
Yeah, this is also a safe space. Go on. It's not like it's recorded or anything.
Look, fine. On a 25, Azalea has an ankle behind her head and makes eye contact with Riptide.
Oh, wow.
Collapses.
So does yoga flirting.
Yeah. Blimey. Right. Okay. But after you've worked up, I don't know. Do people sweat doing yoga? I've literally never done it.
I mean, it's
Yeah,
sunny,
you
so
sweat a lot.
do.
It's really
Okay.
it's a hard workout.
Okay. So, but you do your hard work
like
out in the
Zumba.
morning. You come, but I suppose you feel invigorated when you do it.
Yeah.
if you do
Yeah.
it well, that is.
If you do it well, and most of you, some of you didn't do great, but that's fine. We're not going to linger on those people there. But Lorelai, you do a okay job at it. I think it's laughing because she's tense and worried about her bread. She keeps falling over, but doesn't hurt herself. It's fine. You feel limber, but you come back inside as are you plating up, and there's this like huge spread in front of on the table, or what is it?
Yeah,
come
it's
to
pretty much
original?
what's on the table.
Okay.
As soon as
Like a
Laffy is
massive pie.
plating up, I'll just swap places with my echo just straight out of bed.
You just hear as Rusty's like running down the hallway.
Move it, get out of the way.
I smell sausages.
I imagine he's got one of those like kid seats, with the little tray in front of him. I don't know why he's not that
Little
short. He's
hiker.
more- yeah, little hiker. Okay, cool. But yeah, the food's in front of you. You guys chowing
He gained
down.
5 inches when eating breakfast. Until then, he's a midget.
Rusty is like straight up the strongest member of the party.
He's
Oh,
with Riptide, yeah.
Yeah.
Him and Riptide
Yeah.
think they've got the same strength.
He's
Yeah.
so childlike.
Yeah.
He's adorable.
Yeah.
Yeah. So here's a very different
It's got a
vibe.
strength of 10 children.
Would Leia be welcome to eat at the table? No, is
I was about to
full
ask
statement.
that in character.
You don't.
Yeah.
She doesn't have to be.
She can sit in the naughty corner.
No, there would be enough food for her to have food. If Lou wanted to ask her, but Laffy would
Technically,
not.
she isn't a prisoner, so I mean. It's
Yeah,
not like we
Laffy
keep
wouldn't
her.
ask her to sit at the table, but she would make everyone aware that the food was for everyone, including the guys downstairs if they wanted it.
Oh, they are. They won't join you just yet, but they thank you for the invitation.
Mhm.
Leia's gonna come
Right.
in and kind of like be a bit taken aback by the spread.
I actually think
so-
there's 9 people and 8 seats. So
Well, Laffy's not sitting down yet.
Oh, bye, James. Speaking of those 8 people now.
Oh no, Beth, you won't be joining for
Just like
breakfast,
the
so James
layers
just decided to quit the entire fucking game.
No,
I'll
sorry,
never
it's
play
really
D&D
weird.
again.
Leia will come out, be taken aback by the sheer volume and selection of food. Will like, she like, pick at it, but like not in a like shy way. Like she will like distinctly grab food and put it on a plate, and then like nibble at it and like eyes darting around the table. So yeah, can you make a chef's check or cook check or whatever? See how good this is. I'm expecting
Does
it to
Chef
be.
give you expertise with cooking?
No, but I think she has that for
You
pastries.
get
anyway.
proficiency.
Yeah.
I'm
I'm pretty free and loose with expertise. It's one of my favorite things in D&D to be really good at.
Plus, with
silly
like
things.
chef, it's like it's not too.
Do I
Oh,
have
since
mean,
I discovered
No,
skilled,
not
I think
yet.
it's all
I
my
think you have
characters.
expertise for pastries.
It's proficiency, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can pick the skill, whether it's wisdom or whatever.
I have an extra D6 for making pastries.
Oh, that was it. Yeah.
Wow.
18. 18 is like, I would say, beyond restaurant quality. Like,
Yeah, it's like Michelin's, like 3 Michelin stars.
Michelin style, yeah. This is like.
She's got
Greg
a little
Wallace
apron on that says
Palace.
"Kiss to Cook," and she's just eyeing up Lorelai like.
Yeah. Greg Wallace in the corner rubbing his hands like buttery biscuit base. Yeah, so I will say everyone's digging in. Leia seems to be taken back, but is enjoying.
You know the
it.
guy from Come Dine with Me who with the whisk?
Oh.
I'm imagining that's that. No, I'm imagining that.
Oh.
I'm imagining that's Rusty licking the.
Yeah. Double dipping everything.
The guy from
Like fucking double dicking his eggs. Double dipping, chipping his eggs.
What?
But Lou,
Um,
I'm expecting you put like it's just lots of toast for you, right?
it's
No, it's just
one
bread.
big ass toast, the size of the plate.
One big toast.
Just a
It's
loaf
called
of
a
bread.
loaf.
Have you ever tried to eat bread immediately after waking up without brushing your teeth or drinking anything?
Yeah, it's horrible.
That's
Yeah,
what
your
it's
mouth
like.
is super dry.
Yeah, your
Oh,
mouth
boy.
is super dry. The bread is
It's
inedibly
just
flaggy.
sad.
Ugh.
And if you do
Those
swallow
kind
it down, it just feels super heavy on your stomach.
Look, kind of
Yeah.
acts a little bit confused. Like tries to eat a little bit more and just pushes the plate away. She can't eat anything. She's just going to look vaguely confused. Did you put anything new in the bread, Laffy?
No.
Everyone else seems to be enjoying it.
Sounds like a you problem.
Skill issues.
Oh god, it's disconnection again. I think she'd look a bit worried. She'd be like, "Is there something wrong with it?"
I think it tastes great. I don't know about everyone else.
This
Yep.
tastes like ashes to me.
Did you brush your
It
teeth?
feels really heavy. No, I brush my teeth as much as you do.
Oh, there's one thing I forgot to mention, by the way, right? This probably would have been a factor of the conversation. The scar, Lorelei is gone.
I assumed. Yeah.
Sorry, I forgot to mention.
I realized it, and I was like, I don't know, a good way to.
Yeah,
do it. So
sorry.
I realized it when we were doing yoga, and I was like, I can't just mention it now. So I'll just assume like
It's one of
everyone's
those
aware of
things,
it.
like, obviously, yesterday everyone had the shit kicked out of them, and like you had this mark on your face. And now you woke up, you've taken like the salve off, like that orangutan who's like healed himself with like special herbs, and it's perfect. It's like it's completely gone. It's like almost there's like this tiniest like cat scratch. That's it.
Oh,
Yeah, and that's
Do
the
I-
kind of thing that maybe linger a little bit, but it's not like Nick Fury style cat scratch. It's like normal cat scratch.
Last time I trusted someone, I lost.
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Leia's your scar is still
Marcus.
there.
yeah.
Like, sorry, yeah.
your-
Too many people.
Your mark is gone.
It is. Yeah.
Is mine still there?
Yeah.
Oh,
It's open. You didn't see later.
Yeah, it's weird. Azalea and I had a weird dream.
Wait.
I think. I assumed it was more than just.
Okay.
Well, I assumed because we were talking and then the scar was gone, it wasn't just a dream. And we were in this weird space, and we, I guess, met the Silent Oarsman in a way. And I'd say we had a conversation, but he doesn't speak. So.
Oh, so he lives up to reputation then.
Yeah, it was actually.
More or less.
It was a bit annoying. We were trying to decipher. He really liked caterpillars and butterflies. It was strange. But
caterpillars and butterflies make good analogies.
Yeah, but he spoke to us. Does that air quotes?
The silent horseman. Or
the silent
horseman.
Yeah. The silent horseman. The silent horseman of the apocalypse. But he told us something, like showed us things, and during that conversation he got rid of the scar. Yeah, I don't think, unless Azalea mentions it, Lorelei doesn't mention the end bit.
With the walking
seeing Lou, yeah.
Oh, right, okay, yeah, okay.
And then she doesn't mention it here in front of everyone.
Yeah, okay. I think that's a cue she'd take from Lorelei.
Okay. Do we know why you had this dream with Azalea?
Well, I assumed it was because of the
marks, I think.
Marks, yeah.
Well,
but I didn't have
I
the
guess
dream.
Mine isn't so visible.
I don't know why you didn't have that dream.
Leia, did you notice anything weird about me last night?
Like mouthful of like 3 sausages. Huh? She no. I expect she kind of eats like in little nibbles. So she like puts her knife and fork down.
I added drow poison to her food knife.
Wow.
She looks up.
And we just got drow poison too.
I'm not. Yep.
She looks and goes, well, what was the voice? It was just a bit high pitched and well, you were awake when I fell asleep, and you were awake when I woke up, and you hadn't moved. But other than that, it's cold, I guess.
Cold.
I had other things racing through my mind. And she's gonna like put the knife and fork down, and, like push the plate away a little bit, and then just kind of like. Do you know when you've like ever done this where you've like stayed overnight at a party where you only know one person?
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, it's really like hyper awkward, and obviously this like, no one likes it. Yeah. And so she sat there. She's like, she's clearly anxious to like be doing something, but she can't, do anything about it. She's like full of a nervous energy, and her eyes are darting from person to person. And this is actually a very, very useful question. When people's eyes drift to Leia, what are the feelings that are going through their heads, and are they expressed on the face? Let's go around alphabetically, and let's start off with Azalea. Aeon first. Yeah. I do English good.
I do English good.
With your what was that? Was your degree, James?
Yeah, my degree.
Both A names, to be fair. Now Aeon, whenever he looks at her, there is anger in his eyes, and that is very clear on his face. He's looking at her with a. There's like clearly he's bothered by her being there, but is just not saying anything because he wants to help Lou and everyone. So he's just sort of maintaining a sort of a demeanor, but he's clearly does not like her right now.
Mm-hmm. If your eyes meet across the ketchup bottles or HP sauce, whatever it is on the table, your eyes meet. There is a she's not really hiding it. There is a grin isn't quite the word, but there's there's definitely a smirk that like flickers across her face if you make that contact with you.
Can I ask, would Laffy notice that?
You might look up and see her like half smiling, but like this would be like a split second between those two people. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know if this is why I'm going around individually.
That's fine, yeah.
Yeah, we'll come to that in a moment.
I'm imagining she just like when they lock eyes, she just does a thing where she moves slightly forward. Just...
yeah, it's like, come at me, bro. But no, if Leia make eye contact. What's going through your mind box?
It's a weird conflicting one because I think Azalea was quite surprised that everyone seemed fairly okay with like letting Leia be and kind of like, stay with the group. But is also the kind of person who prefers to keep her emotions to herself.
Okay.
So I think she's trying to sort of keep a straight face and not bring any attention to anything.
Is she angry that Leia's here, or is she just confused?
I think confused after the reaction they had to Lou, honestly.
Okay, that's fair. Okay, cool. She doesn't really seem to bear you much. You don't seem to factor much into her, like, grand plan. Like, because the information she had on the party was when Azalea was on that, like, massive hen do. And so she hasn't factored much into her plan. She knows the least about you. So, like, when she looks at you, there's like an insightful, trying to weigh you up. All she knows about you is when she ran in, you seem to be in control of, like, the giant zombie, but doesn't really... Other than that, there's no real, like, cognitive, like, recognition about who you are or what you do. So she is trying to learn more about you from, like, passive observation. Who's next? I think it would be Kudo next, unless I've missed something.
Yeah.
Yes, Kudo next. Oh, then we get into the fucking A's, the L's rather. Oh. It's just like a long stream of L's. But yeah, so Kudo, what do you feel when you're looking at Leia?
Kudo would still be suspicious and wary of her because I can't yet trust her fully, and she did put up a fight. But in general, he's not really that bothered with it because at the moment we are very much outnumbering her.
Okay, cool. When she makes eye contact with you, I assume there's like an element of like superiority or smugness in you. Like she's not going to try anything because she's so like heavily outnumbered. Again, she's trying to get a read on you. She knows what you can do. She's had reports on you on how you fight. And how you engage with people. So she would be, I don't know if wary is the right word, but she's got the measure of you a little bit, and would maybe have plans on how to deal with you.
Also, can I try to set up my echo behind her and spook her when she's taking a bite of when she nibbles on a sausage?
No, when she's taking a drink of something.
Oh
yes,
yes, that's even better.
I will say yes. But she has a very high insight and wisdom. Oh, well, not actually a wisdom shit, but her insight and perception is really high. Fucking rogues,
expertise,
man.
Baby.
Yeah. So I will say yes, but she let's make a contested check. Can you make a sleight of hand check?
Can I argue performance?
Actually.
Yeah, you can argue performance. Yeah.
Yippee!
Yippee!
Woohoo!
Oh, come on, I will use advantage on that.
The important rolls.
Oh,
That's one.
Oh,
That's worse somehow.
it rolled away
6.
from a nat 20.
I imagine, because her passive beats that, I imagine you come in your echo behind it and have it like lunge forward as she's like putting a sausage in her mouth. But she like just dodges ahead and the hand just goes past it, and she twists her fork so it pricks the echo and it's
poops into dust.
Yeah. And then she just like looks again. She's got this like look of Bitch, I know what you can do. You can't surprise me about her. Like,
I will look sad.
Yeah, that makes her a little.
Are you sad?
About the prank not working? Yes.
Yeah. Next is
he's depressed now.
Because her sister is way easier to prank.
So Lu's too busy writing letters.
So I imagine Laffy. I don't know if you're sat opposite her, but I imagine you've got her in your line of sight and Lou in your line of sight.
Like pottering around the table. She's not sat down yet.
Oh right. Okay.
She's got kind of an anxious energy about her, but I imagine anytime she looks at Leia, she has like a mixture of anger and then like pity, and then her mind goes to Lou, so her gaze would like immediately dart over to Lou, and then that feeling of like disappointment would set in. But then it's weird, there's like a lot going on in her head, because as soon as she looks at Lou and like connects the two of them together, she kind of thinks about Rusty, weirdly, and how the way that Lou is protecting Leia is similar to the way that her relationship with Rusty is. And so then she'd probably like look away immediately and like look down at the table and start moving stuff around again. So it's very like quick.
Yeah. Rusty is power eating banana pancakes. It's almost indecent. Like, you look at him and you're like, no. Like, how are you fitting 3 in each hand in your mouth? Like,
oh god.
Did you just finish your 3rd bottle of syrup?
I like to think he accidentally ate a plate and didn't notice.
Oh no.
No, it's not just he ate a plate. A plate has a bite, like
fucking cheese style bite into it. Okay, so if you ever make eye contact with Leia, okay, so you've seen, like, I will say yes because you've got high insight and perception. You've seen this like this little smirk when she's made eye contact with Aeon.
Oh,
she makes
that
eye
changes
contact
things
with
significantly.
Yeah, I was saying, like, as you come around, you kind of like see the two meet eyes, and she's got this small, like, she catches it, like. And she kind of like looks away. She looks at you, and like you can just, with your insight, you can just see like there's an unpleasant. Like, she's been rewarded for being an evil person in the past, and she associates sometimes doing bad things with good feelings. And
I do have a thing for this.
Okay.
If Laffy catches her like trying to intimidate anybody else, this is such a mum moment, and I really hope this doesn't go wrong and I don't end up with my bowels on the fucking dining table. But she's gonna like come around to behind Leia's chair. Like, I imagine it's like one of those chairs with like the how do you describe it? Like the wood bits at the back, like sticking up slightly. So she grabs one side of it, spins the chair around, leans right down to Leia, and just goes, "Stop it."
You can see, like, it's I know you've dealt with kids who have like a malicious streak. She looks up at you, like dead eye contact, unwavering eye contact, and her eyes are warm, very pretty, full of mischief, and deep, like there's a break in there. There's something fundamentally broken in there, and like it becomes a grin, and then she kind of gets hold of it. And I'm trying to think of what she would say, but it's very much as, well, I wasn't doing anything. May I go back to my sausages? They were very good.
She's gonna turn her head, like stay exactly where she is, so she's like leaning down in front of Leia with her hand like over her shoulder on the chair. Turn her head, look at Lou, and the look that she gives her is as if to say, "Sort her out." And then she's gonna like move back around the table and carry on like cleaning as she goes, kind of thing, like trying to keep it like a nice new fresh space. But she's warned both of them now.
Once you move away, she's gonna like very politely put her like knife on the plate, stand up and go, "Well, my appetite has been sated. I think I will go back to the room, if that's okay." And like as she
Aeon watches her leave.
Yeah, she actually make eye contact with Aeon, and again, like, she's trying to hide the smirk, but like there's something like she's like, I'm making the face. Obviously, you can't see it, but like, you know, little smug hidden smile, like, oh, You can tell Mummy.
When like, you know, Aeon was to leaving this clear, like, you know, leaving her not being in our lines obviously like makes people feel weird. I would just reiterate to everyone in their heads, other than Lo, just say, don't worry, I always know where she is. Because I still have that brand on her, so I will always know where she is. So if she makes a runner, I'll fucking know it.
This is probably a good time for the master plan, unless there's anything else you need to add in the minute, James.
No.
Laffy's gonna
James,
take.
I never got to do my reaction, but alright.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry. So we'll roll back the clock a little bit. Sorry, you completely
Before she
right.
storms out.
Yeah, before she storms. Well, storm's not the right word. She is main character energy leaving the room is a better way of saying it. Yeah. So Lorelei, I imagine, you know, you've kissed the cook. You eat. You've got this freshly baked croissant in front of you.
Pain au chocolat, thank you very much.
Pain au chocolat. Sorry, yeah. And you know, it could be a great day.
Well, I just want to add, I had a pain au chocolat earlier. I took it out the oven, but it was really hot, and the chocolate hit my thumb. Burnt my thumb.
Oh, wow.
And I don't have like a tap to run it under cold water. It was awful.
So if you just keep lick it and blow on it.
I did eventually. I mean, I just used a bottle.
But I ran out of saliva. There's no water, James.
Well, no, we have bottled water, but you know, it was just frustrating. A very frustrating 2 minutes. But yeah, sorry. Thought I'd get that out there.
Yeah, okay. Now the world knows.
Yeah.
So she makes eye contact with you. We will say, for the sake of argument, it's before this interaction with Laffy. For the sake that would have been the incentive to her for leave. So we will rewind. What would be the thoughts going through your head as someone who is connected with her in a very, I'm not going to say intimate is the wrong word, but in a very unusual way, as in like when you sleep you can see through her eyes. This is like a weird bit of flavor I've added to the thing. I think it's fun. But like you know where she is at all times, and you can like occasionally like pick up like whiffs of her emotion, like, you know, like a slight smell of emotion. And this morning she's been very guarded and cagey, and there's been these like weird spikes in her mood every now and then that I don't know if you would have immediately know what has set those things off, but presumably after the conversation we just had, you might be able to pin them down. So what would be going through Lorelei's brain?
I think it would. I don't know if hatred's the right word.
Severe dislike is on the table.
Yeah. Just make sure I'm using. I think there's like loathing.
Okay.
Like she's like. I think the best way is like she's just disgusted by this woman, and just like. I think maybe the most negative emotion towards a person, like full stop, that like, you know, she's had to, like, it's very few people that she like outright hates and dislikes, and this woman's on that list.
Okay.
And I think if they were to meet eyes at any point, Lorelei would not break the stare.
I think, yeah, that makes sense. I'd like to think that if that is like, you know, you both look up at the same time, your eyes lock, and like I imagine Lorelei like glowering at her.
No, I think it's just like while she's like eating, or like even if she's talking to someone else, she's just like, you know, eating her food and just like slightly more like, not like slitted eyes, but like just looking at her with like a very faint look of just loathing and disgust as she's just going about. But like that's only if she meets the eyes, but Lorelei does not look away.
Yeah. So what I think would happen if you did meet eyes, there's this moment and like your eyes narrow slightly. Hers would too, but not in a like in I hate you vibe, more in like you keep leaving the door open for me to score goals, kind of like she, like, you know, that that feeling when you get a rise, that's someone you want to annoy. Like without her having to do a single thing.
Well, no, it's not like an angry look. It's just like a look of like when I say like staring, it's not angry. She's just like looking, like slightly, and I think maybe perturbed or like just slightly frustrated. But it's just like clearly at the situation, but directed towards her.
Yeah.
There's no physical rise or change. It's just like I don't like her.
yeah. She. I don't think you would need to hide that. She's smug if she meets your eyes. Frustratingly smug. And the thing that probably would break eye contact is someone reaching for a bottle, or or something like that. Like neither one would want to look away until it was broken. Any interaction with her is she relish, like if you are giving off a negative energy, that seems to be like pretty much what she wanted from you.
Feeding her.
Yeah, feeding her.
She really is a mischievous child, isn't she?
Yeah.
Just
Lou. So obviously you're in a bit of a weird position. You didn't sleep last night. You kind of just lay there, stock still for however many hours in the dark. You felt Leia come into the room, slide into bed, and fall asleep quite quickly. You lay just thinking over just of all the things that had happened to lead to this point. The conversation you'd had with Laffy the night before. You woke up feeling, rested. I think is the best word for it. And you got, you woke up. These marks are still on your face. They are not bleeding. They're not weeping in any way. They don't hurt. They're just there. The only thing that hurts is the knife wound that killed you, and that hurts like inside, like it's like if you ever clout your funny bone, it's like a dull ache.
Oh.
You feel there.
Oh no.
Well, I felt that just as you said it.
Yeah, me too.
It's not
I
overwhelming.
physically touched
it's
my
like,
arm in real life.
Yeah, it's like you bang your elbow, and then like after the sharpness of the pain's gone, there's that like lingering kind of echo of pain, and it's
like
not distracting. It's just constantly there, and that's like the main thing. Like you've tried to eat and drink breakfast. It's not giving you. It's not bringing you Marie Kondo joy. It is a chore. It's not the pain. It's just the food is claggy in your mouth. There's no taste to it. You go for coffee. It's just bitter. The milk. Nothing smells good. Nothing is doing. But you're not super hungry.
Yeah.
So I won't worry about it too much. And then Leia is like, being a problem. Like she seems to be gently trying to wind people up, thinking that she's like got a safety net. Laffy kind of yells at her, and she decides that she's going to walk away from the situation, having taken from it what she wants. And the brightest thing in the room for you at the moment, is Leia, and like they're the two focuses of your attention. Is like Leia, who is like, I can't think of a better word for it than like a nemesis style moon that is like going around eclipsing people on the table, and then there's Laffy, who's trying to provide light to it. I think it's probably the best way to describe it. And then Leia goes, and there's like a general easing of tensions. But when you see this going on, because she wouldn't have made eye contact with you, she would have been sat next to you. What other thoughts and feelings going through Lou's head?
Lou is quite conflicted in all of this because obviously she lost her sister to death, but she doesn't really like what her sister has become. Like, Leia has changed in a way Lou hasn't really come to terms with yet, and this is like another small piece of evidence that the sister she remembers isn't all there anymore, and she's more than a little conflicted about it. And it doesn't help that she's trying to take a rise out of the other people at the table.
Yeah. Okay.
And she is very much trying not to think about the implications of if the foods is different, what else is different about me.
I think that's everybody there, right? I'm not going to do Rusty and Riptide.
Rusty doesn't know what's going on.
I know Rusty would know what's going on. I think Rusty is hyper aware of it, actually. And
no, he's just devouring pancakes. He can't think.
That's why he's devouring pancakes.
Yeah,
I
think
it's possible to be a bit more of a
stress-eating.
distraction.
Well, no, he wants to distract Laffy, and he thinks, because she probably said that, like, oh, she's such a good eater, that if he eats enough, he will. He will. If he
he will eat away her pain.
Yeah, he will eat away her pain by creating demand for banana pancakes. And when he goes, he slows down noticeably. Riptide, seeing like what's going on, is, I won't say ambivalent about Leia, but she doesn't factor in majorly to like the three core things that are going on with Riptide at the moment. Like, she's pissed off that this girl led like an attack on the house. Yeah, but like the fight is over now, and since there doesn't appear to be any immediate need to fight, like, she doesn't factor very high on Riptide's like threat scale. She's annoyed that, like, she has her own things she wants to be doing, but she sees that some other people, like some people she's very close to, really don't like that girl, and of course she's going to back her friends up. So she, if it came to it, Riptide would have no problem in stepping in between, but since she's extricated herself from the situation, Riptide's happy to forget her. She out of sight, out of mind sometimes with that woman. So that was that. So at this point, Leia's walked away. And like closed the door behind her with, some may say, a little bit too much force, maybe not. It's hard to say. It definitely wasn't a slam, but it was more of a slam than a gentle closing. Let's call it a statement close. And I will hand over to Beth, who has a thing, I think.
Yes. So Laffy would go back to the kitchen. Oh my god, who's drawing on her? And grab a book. And like tear out a sheet of paper for each person and put them down and just sort of look at everyone and go, so I feel like we're kind of just doing things in a very random order, and if we could maybe make a list of priorities for things that we want to get done, and then we could maybe put them all together and see what the most important things were, and maybe make a sort of plan, because it feels very messy at the moment, and we clearly have a lot of different options and different things that we need to get done or would like to get done. So if you could just make a numbered list and then hand them back to me. I have a big cork board around the corner, and I will put some plans together.
Does that include Rusty and Riptide? Yeah. Okay.
Do you mean like in the immediate to end of this week or long term?
Right now.
Well, it's sort of order of importance. So if something has like a time limit, like with obviously we have the ball that we have to go to, that's kind of something that is happening sooner, whereas if it's something that you'd like to do that's very important to you but it can maybe wait, maybe that would take like less of a priority on the list, just so I can kind of gauge who wants to do what, because it feels like we could be pulled in a lot of different directions here, and I feel like we really need to stick together considering everything that's happened. Looks at Lou's bedroom door.
So how do you want this information, Beth? Do you want us to DM it to you?
If you guys want to give me like a numbered list, like 1 to, I don't know, however many things you've got, first one being the most important, like I want to get this thing done now, and then like the thing on the bottom of the list is like, this is a thing that we need to do but it's not like immediately important, and we can do it whenever. So just like things that we know that are going on, like with Leia and the book and taking the book to William, where you think that comes in the list of priorities for the things that we have to do immediately, because obviously the longer we take, the more we have to have her around, and then we've obviously got other things going on, other threads to pull at. So yeah, just trying to be a little bit more one mind, guys, one brain cell.
That's all I have.
I said one brain cell and the dog got really excited. Is that your true name?
Okay.
It's his calling.
Yeah.
Okay. I imagine like these are like voting slips, so Riptide is like actually like covering hers a little bit.
Number 1, Azalea.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a to-do list, right? That Riptide probably would. Azalea's just like, number 1, Azalea. Wait, Riptide.
No, both is good.
both is good. God, my brain is too many things.
Okay, I will talk because otherwise there will be a big like moment of silence as we all think.
Scribble.
I've had to
right,
think of
right.
6 things, so I just want you all to appreciate
I can do
how
like
benevolent I am. So as you are doing this, you hear the sounds of like movement downstairs as things are being arranged by the stuff. They're moving stuff about, clearly trying to create like a new like area for entrance and people to discuss like missions and stuff. Your area of the flat, I think, is definitely more livable than like officey. Like, you know, like there's like a pool table, there's places for you to relax. I don't think you bring clients up here. The Silverhook are very good about like defining where is good and where is workplace, where is not workplace. So you hear stuff like that. You hear Timothy like offering moral support, Jericho losing his rag and yelling at him, if you want to help, pick up a fucking brush, stuff like that. And then like laughter.
No, my hands are too dainty.
Yeah, my hands are smooth hands, Timothy. And in fact, I don't know if I sent this picture. In Baldur's Gate, there is a character called Smooth Hands. There is a halfling like character NPC called Smooth Hands. I saw it. I think I took a photo of it. I was going to send it to the group. I don't know if I got it. Anyway, it could have been like an item or something, like the gloves of something Smooth Hands. And anyway, weird sidebar. But the as you are all looking round, if anyone's finished, please let me know, and I will ask that character a question.
I looked up Smooth Hands
finished.
Baldur's Gate 3, and I'm confused.
What is it?
It's a ring called
ring.
Called the Fetish of Kaldurian Smooth Hands.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
It lets you cast invisibility.
No, I just saw
That
it.
makes sense. Eye on the wall. Yeah.
Yeah.
The smooth 6-pointed star.
I
on
am
this
finished
ring.
with my letter. Please change
Weird.
the subject. I don't want to go further.
Yeah. Okay, so Lou, as you finish your letter,
Honestly, that's crazy. I was not expecting that.
what would you? So I'm not going to ask what you've written. How would it look like when you finish? Do you? Is there a part of you that wants to go and speak to Leia, or is there a part of like? Do you want to remain with like? She's not going anywhere. You, like her. She's endeavoured to stick with you. To get this book dropped off. So, are you wanting more to stay with the party or go and hang out with her?
I have.
Wait. Lou is going to fold up the paper and hand it over towards Laffy, and as she hands it over, she says, I'll go have a word with my sis. Just call me when everyone is done writing, please.
I have a quick question for the party.
Mm-hmm.
What did I tell you about my home village situation?
I think very little.
Not a lot.
I think the people who were.
I think you mentioned a little bit to Laffy, but not towards the rest of the party.
I think you mentioned to Laffy, and then we also had that sequence where some of our memories were mixed, and I think those for that.
No, he wasn't there for that.
Yes, I was.
No, it was
Yeah,
just
it was.
you, me,
Yeah,
and
it
Rip,
was.
right?
It was us three, and it was yeah. And
I
Riptide.
remember that horribly. So do you have anything or not?
I would say those people probably know more. I think you might have
loads.
Wouldn't know lots. I think the only thing I feel like I remember, but it might just be me knowing more about the character than the character. Is that like it's like you're on a mission to help the village, if that makes sense. I don't know how much we know though. Not sure.
Well,
We really need to
speak
speak more.
Well, honestly, it's probably good if that information's out there either way. So
Yeah, Laffy's not gonna have a breakdown. Yeah, I'm done. I'll fold up my paper really nicely, and I'm gonna prestidigitate like like a seal. If that's possible, James.
Sorry, I was just reading in the chat. Ashley just put Lorelei as aroused, but there's
But
no
that ages
timestamp.
ago.
Yeah,
It was
exactly.
when Laffy did the turned the
Turn the chair around, like
Yeah,
stop
okay.
it.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, what was your question, Peter?
Can I prestidigitate a seal on the paper?
Of course.
Like fold it up, nice.
Yeah. Oh, could do that. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't move that.
I have sent my 6 over. Kudo's on his 6. Lou's on her 6.
There was a
Lorelei-
number on it.
Well,
was a
no,
number for you?
sorry. I say 6. I did 3 for each character. Just because there were. I couldn't be asked thinking of anything anymore, to be honest.
I also did
Kudo
three.
is sorry. Fucking hell, Rusty is his primary. He didn't want to write this, but just looking at him, he keeps glancing at Laffy, and he knows that she wants him to be honest, but he would just be happy doing whatever she wants to do. Like so, he's desperately trying to think of something, and he hasn't quite understood the question, which is probably comes across in some of the answers.
Oh, no. What do you want to do? Lemonade.
No, it's like one of the answers was play with this ball everyone keeps talking about.
Oh.
He's so
Oh
cute.
no. He's going to be so confused when we dress
Yeah,
him
he
up.
is. Poor little guy. He's gonna be fine. But yeah. So is anyone still going?
Just
I'm
in mind.
I think I have 2 left.
Oh, who still needs
It's
to?
Aeon and Azalea.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just finished.
Ah, okay.
What the
Oh, do
hell
we
is
also need to
this?
send it to you, James, or?
No, I don't want to know. It's not up to me.
I
what you guys do.
don't give a shit.
I
Yeah,
don't
no,
care.
I don't understand dismissive, but I really don't care what you guys do next. It's like because it's your story as much as mine. Like if you want to do something completely, off piece, that's 100% up to you. I'm here for it. I just don't want to, I don't want to direct you in a particular way. I have things that I've prepared for you, but it doesn't matter to me what you do next. I'll just prep it.
If
So
we
you-
don't do that, James is just gonna have a mental breakdown.
No, I've got so much stuff ready for you to do that, if you pick something completely different, that's fine. That's just something else for me to prepare. I genuinely don't want.
I was thinking though, is it a better idea for us to do this like over the week so we can think of like exactly what those things are that we want to do? And
Well, I actually think it's good to do in session because I think when people say theirs or when Laffy kind of looks at them and tries to bring them to focus, I think it will be a discussion point.
Yeah, more of a discussion than.
Okay.
And I'm here for that because it allows me to sit here in silence and listen. So, I mean, I think, do you all... I mean, you don't have to have 3 if you only have one thing your character wants to do. But
I
that's
had
fine.
I've just sent mine.
Hmm.
I only have 4.
Cool.
I had 6, but some of them were like very like
Yeah,
generic.
I would like to go shopping. More pastries, please.
Well, that's definitely.
Would like a
I
shower.
don't need to write that one. I would like a shower.
I would like a shower
Um,
because we did yoga and then ate a lot of protein.
I had a lot of carbs.
Yeah. Okay. Do you have everyone now? Laughing.
I'm just waiting for Azalea, but I can go through the ones I have while I'm waiting.
Okay. Yeah.
So I think she would first of all she'd read through all the lists, take her merry time doing that. Very, very much pondering everything. And then I think she'd just like address everyone and be like, "Is everybody okay with me reading these out?"
Yep.
Please ignore the crossed out one.
Okay. So
Yay.
first of all, I think it's pretty obvious that most people want to go to the ball. And since it's sort of impending, that feels like
I've actually
the
been meaning to ask about this ball. Were you guys invited to it before I joined the group?
Uh-huh.
And am I welcome to actually go?
well, yeah, you're
Because-
part of the group.
Well,
So-
we were
Yeah.
initially invited because the hunt was involved. I think partially still because of that, but now because we are the Starlight Syndicate, that is another reason why we're invited because we're like helped
Billy
people
Big
recently.
Bollocks.
Yeah,
We're the best.
no,
Alright.
we're
Oh,
helpful.
We are pretty cool.
Speaking of the ball, Do you want me to keep if you allow her to come, do you want me to keep an eye on
Oh,
Leia?
she should
Leia's
not
not
be
coming.
there.
Laffy
Do you want
straight
to
up
leave her
say
alone?
Leia's not coming.
I mean,
Well, this is something that we're probably going to have to discuss. What we do.
Well,
with
if
her
she
while
would
we're-
come, if she were to come, we probably would have one less problem afterwards. In a sense, because I don't think the people would take a liking to her.
I don't think it's a good idea to have her around a bunch of civilians.
I always
I'll
know where
just
she is.
stay with her. I don't
I
need
w-
to go to the ball.
I always
It's
know
fine.
where she is, and I mean, if Lou does eventually, want to be there, there is 3 members of the Silver Hook who could just be around her if she is, not.
I don't think that's the best idea.
Well, I don't think it's the best idea her still breathing, but we're here, so.
I mean, the guys in the Silver Hawk seem to know her.
Seem to know her. I don't think she would just outwardly attack them.
Yeah.
So.
I'll just stay with her here. It's fine.
Maybe we have a proper discussion about it.
Yeah.
Because I'm looking at all of these lists, and there's only one person who's kind of pointed out the same thing that was the top of my list, which is we need to, I think, have a look at this book. If everybody's comfortable with it. I think we need to figure out exactly what it is. And I think she'd lower her voice if it's, if we can.
Remember, Laffy?
Finger across the neck.
So remember, Laffy? Just points Lorelei's head. You can always speak in her head, so if you don't want anyone
So
to
there's
hear.
no one else in here.
Yeah, but even still, I mean, Leia's a rogue. She could be sneaking, hide,
Yeah.
listening. But
It is written in Elvish.
that's something
I
I think
know
a few of us can
Laffy
read.
and Lorelei can read and speak Elvish, but how about the rest?
I can't speak Elvish.
Nope.
If you ask Cal very nicely, he
Oh
will
wait, I
probably
can actually
give you
comprehend
a
languages.
yeah comprehend language. Yeah.
Oh, obviously
I can
Riptide
speak
also has.
Elvish.
I think
Yeah.
Riptide has Elvish.
I mean, I think it'd
He's
be
an elf.
me,
She's
Laffy,
a quarter elf. I don't know
Riptide,
if maybe speaks
I've
elemental.
got Elvish as well.
Azalea as well. So 4 initially. I mean,
And
sorry,
I also got a free cast of comprehend languages.
Luke, can you?
I think that's
can-
only
can-
spoken, right?
No.
the
comprehend
common
languages?
languages specifically
It's just
writing.
reading.
Tongues. is
Oh,
the-
okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can Lou read Elvish?
Yeah. I was raised by
I
now.
thought you were asking can Lou read.
I mean, full stop. I should. But,
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, we know she can write.
Yeah, it would be very weird if I can write but not read. How would
I
that
might
even
not read.
work?
It's weird.
You know how to write, but you don't know what anything means. Okay. Well, that's most of us.
No, I don't think she has. I wanted to say Lewis read through it, but I don't think she has.
No, you won't have done.
No.
In my opinion, the next obvious steps over this week are 1, figure out what is going on with the book. 2, figure out what we're gonna do with Leia and this Emily person. 3, the ball. Obviously, I think we're all kind of deserving of a little bit of a happy day. And then probably planning at least on the route that we're going to take if we decide in everyone's heads if we decide to take the book, if there's nothing else that can be done with it. But I know that there's a few things on here that people want to do. Aeon, I know that you're looking for somebody. Did you have any idea where they were the last time that you were?
Yeah. The last lead I had about the guy I'm going after was Kilpatrick, but he bounced before I could ask him any real questions. And then recently I was kind of in between whether or not I wanted to continue following that path when I met you guys, and we had that really nice time down in Lorelei's farm. Like, I was brand new meeting you guys, and you let me stay around, and it was nice. And so I was very much contemplating maybe letting it go, but recent events, and he looks over to the door where Leia's where Leia is at Lou's bedroom. I think I need to find him, and the best way for me to find him is to chase upon the lead that I last had, which was Kilpatrick.
Which is north.
Which is north.
It's in the similar direction.
Similar direction.
So, Kudo, you mentioned that there's something going on in your village. Where is your village? Because if we planned, we could maybe go that way and kind of, two birds, one stone.
Isn't this village south of Haven?
I will take the world map. So basically, the village is to the southwest of Warndall. Of Haven Oral. It's not a million miles from where you are now. So, it's kind of there. So it's about equidistant from where Lorelei's house was, Cadenshire. You could probably do the journey.
So where are we headed? We're headed to the Nets.
So currently you're where Laffy's is. The Nets. If you were to go to where William is, it would be the Nets. You would know that the last time Lorelei got a ping from Kilpatrick, it was kind of here, and he was heading southbound, but it would take him a long time. We're talking weeks of travel to get really far. There's nowhere for him to eat, drink, or sleep. He's just walking across effectively desert. Kudo's village is kind of here, which is about as far away from the center as the Lupin Vale was. It's kind of like a couple of days south of the Lupin Vale, so it isn't directly on your way. However, there is a river that runs.
Yeah, I was gonna say, realistically, we could get a boat. We could go through Kudo's village and travel along the river, and that way we would be able to pick up some information on what Kilpatrick's doing in the north, which I know Riptide also wants to do. And then we can sort of go around along the river and to the Nets. I don't know if Leia's going to be happy with that, since there's a few things on the way. Alternatively, we could do it the other way. We could go straight to the Nets and then come back round through...
That would depend on what direction the river is going.
That's a good point, because we went back down the river to Haven.
The river the river is a magical suit the DM and suit party, so it reverses its flow at night. So it runs away from the in the morning. It runs kind of from here to here.
You could just say it's tidal.
Yeah, it's like a tidal river that works on a waterfall. It's a magical.
Actually, if we, and I don't just say this because Leia's my sister, but I genuinely think we would be better off going first to Nets and then west, because if William thinks the book is coming towards him, he's not going to send any more people or things after us.
I mean, I just want to kind of do what everyone's happy with. So if everybody's okay with that idea of us just going straight to William and then doing everything else on the way back, I don't want to make anybody feel like their thing is less important. So this needs to be like a collaborative thing.
It's not like the smuggling is a very recent thing, or has, how to put it, has a big urgency or something. Mm-hmm. And I also think it would be beneficial because I didn't say a lot of, didn't mention it very much because I thought, well, we're going after let's just say political parties. And I thought something would eventually just turn up because, well, we were just digging deeper and deeper into gang activity. Slightly with the Midnight Hunt. Mm-hmm. So, by the way, it's the doll faces they are called. So if anyone...
We've heard of that once or twice.
Mm-hmm. Yes, but So if you can just look out for them,
Mhm.
if you see or hear them.
You would
Question
remember.
for James. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I was just on the doll faces. You'd remember a couple of things as you headed north initially on your very
we
first
saw
mission
them.
out. You
Yeah.
saw them. Like you walked through a sketchy part of town and you saw them. Lou was also pickpocketed by one of them.
Yeah,
Oh,
27
yeah.
gold. I have written down.
I forgot about that.
Those
I
I don't
bastards.
forget anything apart from
Elephants never forget.
Yeah.
Unless it's a name.
Wow.
Want to see my elephant impression?
Go on.
No, that is just a joke about getting your penis.
I thought you were going to
That's
do
why I
really
didn't want to talk
impressive
to you.
impressions.
That's why I just stopped.
No, my question is, do we know where Werbiddle Skittle is?
God, no.
Weird.
Weird.
Because
Biddle
you
skittle.
guys don't, but
But the Silver
Leia
did.
probably would have mentioned it. Like that.
Yeah.
If it had come up, I don't know how much you've been talking to her, but I will say this: it would have maybe come up with a question with Lou, like, "Oh, by the way, how come you had like arrows that could and scrolls that could do shit?" She was decked out by Weirbiddle Skittle as like a favor from the Black Rock Tally. He is in the city.
Right.
Yeah,
because
I mean,
we
we
need to
assumed
talk to him
that.
about a boat. I think that's going to be our best bet.
Oh.
Leia
Also-
mentioned that he was in the city. I can ask her more specifics later.
Also, James, just so I don't get this wrong before I start speaking, the boat that Kilpatrick, the Coriolis,
Aureolus, yeah.
is that what it's called? Yeah. Werbiddle Skittle helped with that, didn't they?
Yeah, there's a few people who
Yeah.
helped with that.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
As that's all come up, Laura, I would say I think Werbiddle Skittle might be a good thing to do while we're either waiting for the event. At some point, if we can find him relatively quickly, because he is linked somehow to Kilpatrick, which will also help Aeon and the whole
Yeah.
plot in general.
So I think
What?
I don't,
We also
no, I meant like Kilpatrick's plot.
Yeah.
But that-
I-
that's
Just to mention,
yeah,
Sorry.
yeah. The plot of this
will-
video game that we're in.
I think I'm
stares
going
at
to
the
take
camera.
everybody's notes. I'm going to try and make like a timeline of things that we can do. And obviously we don't need to stick to it. I'm not going to be like a rule, you know.
A
I'm
rules
not gonna,
lawyer.
yeah,
I
I'm-
will say the Nets idea is probably a good shout too.
Yeah, I
After
think-
the ball,
I think
because that will stop us getting attacked by
so. It's
the people after the ball.
yeah. So it's figure out a way to get there, go to the nets, come back through the north, figure out what's going on with Kilpatrick, and then we can come down and maybe while we're coming down we can also check on the Lupin Vale because that kind of we'll be going
Well,
through.
I feel
and-
like it'd be out of the way, no? Because if we're going from the nets, then surely the quickest way would be
There is a
this
river
way.
that runs from the nets
Does-
to the
yeah.
Lupin Vale.
Well, surely it'd be that way, right? Would be the
It
quickest.
is. Well, it's up to you. There's like. Yeah,
Oh,
that-
but
that
I
is-
guess. But I
We're
guess
going-
if we
yeah,
assume that
'cause-
if we
yeah,
assume that Kilpatrick is
is-
around here,
yeah, if-
sorry.
yeah, so it'd be
Sorry.
then down and then to
So yeah, it would be.
and then back to Haven Orel.
It would
So
be that way.
I'll make a cohesive list. But I think as of right now, this second, the thing that we can do is she'd like point to the bag of holding. I think we need to check the book.
I think I agree.
I don't know how spellbooks work.
Everyone looks to Aeon.
I don't think he has a spellbook as
Well,
an
no,
artificer.
he
I
does
mean,
not-
Cal's also here.
Yeah, I stole a guy's spellbook, but I don't know how spellbooks work either. I just follow the inscription.
Cal.
Yeah,
Follow the inscription and made a
knock
tattoo
on.
out of it.
Actually, no, I was going to say I knock on the floor, but can I? I assume Cal's right below us. Can I just telepathically say, "Hey, can you come up here, quick, buddy"?
no,
you
before you
can't
do
add
that,
new people into your telepathy. It's limited to these guys, which is kind of a give and take.
I'll
It's
just
much
shout
better
him.
for these guys. So yeah, after a few minutes, if you yell, you
Wait,
hear the.
actually,
did say something
before you
Oh, sorry.
before you do that, knowing William, how likely is he to put like a trigger specifically for if someone not himself opens the book and has a trap?
You would know that whilst he's had this book for a while, it wasn't his. It's like it came into his hands, and he's been trying to not decipher it, but like literally get powerful enough to use it. This is not it's not a book that like you can immediately open on any page and cast any spell. This is a very intricate book of incredibly powerful spells that he has as yet been unable to get like mastery of. Some of the stuff he's been able to do, but basically like this is like walking up and finding a spell book from a 20th level character. For context.
I'm picturing like Book of Vile Darkness, like.
Kind of, like, I don't want to give away too much because you've not opened the bag yet, but like, so basically, he is a, if I was to, like, give him a level, it would not be 20th level, it would be, you know, a high level, but he's not at a level, he's not a significantly talented enough wizard just yet to be able to use all these spells, but this book is streamlining his training. He's focused on these specific spells, he sees how they work.
He's paid to win leveling up.
Yeah. Yeah, he's in the forest.
That's a leveling guide for his Pokemon, holy crap.
Yeah, this is his rare candy, and he is munching it down. Yeah,
it's got awful taste.
At least he was until Luke got a hold of it.
So yeah, I think Laffy would just open the door to downstairs and be like, "Cal, can we borrow you?"
Yeah. So after a few minutes, you hear like the dulcet tones of Cal knocking on the door, which I have decided is. I hear your heart beat, beat of the drum. Boom, boom,
with his rear end, right?
Yeah, we're twerking on the door. Yeah.
Comes in, picks up a pastry.
Yeah.
As Cal comes in, I actually I just ask him because I was quite close to him. We were at the back shooting in. Like he got fucked up. He was unconscious. But
yeah. He's got like a big black eye and like his nose is swollen. He immaculately turned out. So Cal was like the prototype for Artron. Like he was the initial like build. So he walks in. His face is all a little bit fucked up, but it's healing quite quickly. And he, you know, is immaculately turned out. He's hobbling a little bit. You don't remember him taking any damage to the leg, but he seems to definitely be favouring one leg over the other. Can't imagine why that would be.
Fall over bad. I know how it can be. If you just fall over bad, that's it.
Yeah,
like,
it's totally.
I'm sure he fell over.
Yeah, sure. He definitely wasn't a member of the party. Fucking kneecapped him because he was fucking using a Wonder Fireball in the.
He was cackling while using a Wonder Fireball. I'm just saying.
Wouldn't you?
No!
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, God, I don't think I need to use it. Just holding the wand, I would be so happy.
He was using the wand, cackling.
And prancing. He was. Yeah.
Like you see villains do.
He has completely. He comes upstairs. He looks around, sees you all sat around the table, sees hopefully that you're happy with the room. Big grin on his face. He comes in and is like, "Hi guys, you hollered." He's just gonna grab some food off someone's. I think he's gonna steal food off Riptide's plate. He's just gonna grab a sausage off a plate, and she like tries to give him like a half-hearted dead arm. They get on fine. It's like sibling rivalry.
Punches him and he goes through the window.
He fucking dies immediately. Yeah, hit 0 in death save.
He's got like 4 health.
So he walks forward and he looks around for a chair, and then he's like, would he sit on? He wouldn't sit on anyone's lap. He would probably like say to Rusty, like, make room for a little one and sit next to Rusty.
I mean, Lorelei would like offer him the chair.
Oh,
well, Leia just left, so there's a chair free, right?
Oh yeah, of course.
No, because Laffy would have needed the chair.
Right.
Yeah, Laffy needed the
chair. But Lorelei would have offered him the chair.
Yeah, okay.
Because she probably would have to stand up to grab the bag of holding.
Okay, well, thank you very much. Can I have coffee?
Of course, yeah.
Oh, thank you.
How are you feeling, Cal, after that battle? You took a major hit.
So, yeah, I mean, it's okay. Jericho digs scars, and he kind of like shows off. He's got this like this burn mark on his. He's very skinny, like no muscular shirt, like that you can see. You know, he lifts up his shirt and it's just like flesh. There's nothing else there. And he goes, "Yeah, I got a burn there. I'm thinking about getting a tattoo on it, but I haven't decided yet." But yeah,
also,
it was pretty exciting.
It's nice to meet you, by the way. I'm Aeon. Yes. I haven't actually met any of the Silverhawk yet. We didn't really get formally introduced before things kind of went a bit balmy. So,
well, I've got to say, I love your jewels.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Yeah, they're big, aren't they?
Well, they're certainly eye-catching. I mean, I have some interesting jewels myself downstairs. I haven't brought them up with me, but you briefly met my husband Jericho, and He was very impressed as well. He said you were fighting like a whirling.
Me and my
derby.
husband saw you across the bar.
Yeah,
really
yeah.
liked your
we
vibe.
wondered. We saw you and we were wondering. Are you eating that
We like your jewels.
yeah. And Timothy, of course, you would have met Timothy as well. He was also, well.
He was also at the back.
He was at the back. I wasn't surprised to hear when I woke up that he was largely at the back.
Yes, but he did actually perform a very good trick with that miasma.
Well,
Be
I
fair.
mean, we jest, and Riptide attest. He can be a challenge, but I like to think his heart's in the right place, just behind his ribs, and he, he even though he isn't always brilliant in a fight, he is a very useful person to have around. Very charming when he wants to be. Sometimes a bit too.
If only
charming.
he had a better spell list.
I mean, it's not like a wizard, is it? We can pick and choose. He gets what he's given.
And he was given shit.
We needed a favor.
Of course.
We have this book, the one that the whole fight was about, and we kind of need help figuring out what it is.
Okay.
Lorelei, the book.
She comes back in with the bag of holding.
That seems to be a bag, but maybe
Well,
the book in the bag.
the book's in the bag.
Okay.
Yeah.
Please
I just wanted to make sure.
mention this to anyone else. This is secret.
Oh, okay.
Secret.
And he does that thing where he pretends to lock his lips and then throws the key away.
Well, you're gonna have to speak, so please.
Oh.
Unzip.
He looks on the table for the key. I'm only joking.
He's
I
struggling.
really locked my lips.
You know, if he wasn't a wizard, his calling was also a mime. Yeah, I think looking to Lola would be like, just like slowly going to the bag of holding.
Lou looks really like already regretting that she isn't against this.
Yeah, but she takes out the book and places it on the table in front of Cal.
Okay, so the book itself is about the size of like the length of the player handbook, so like a hardback kind of graphic novel-y size, but like 3 or 4 times as thick. It's like tome-esque. The leather is very old, like clearly hundreds of years old, cracked and worn. It would have originally been a deep brown with like gold trim on it, like motifs of leaves and like stuff like that, but like those have been corrupted with like and turned into bones over the years. The front of the book is Cal picks up, pulls out these little kind of half moon style spectacles. He leans forward and reads it. It's like the Book of the Unforgiving, it says here. Oh dear, it sounds rather so where did you find this exactly? And he kind of looks to Lorelei.
Looks to Lou.
In a well.
In a well.
Lou, you're not lying today. She got it from a pretty bad person.
Pretty bad. Well, I would say so. So, let's see. And he opens it, and the book is full of. At first, it looks like a normal wizard spell book. At first, there's loads of I imagine it's like cantrips and first level spells. You turn the page, it's second level spells, third level spells, stuff like that. And he kind of scrolls through. There's pretty banal stuff in there, and then there seems to be the end of the normal book, and then stuff that's been added in post a certain point. And the most of the spells and stuff are diagrams and just bog standard, create, destroy water, a firebolt, featherfall, whatever. And then it gets to a part where there's it becomes more like a diary or a book of
like a journal.
Yeah, kind of, or a autobiography. And it says so the top is scorched is unforgiving, the unforgiving at the top. And then there's this very elaborate elven script, and anyone who can read Elvish will be able to read this. And Cal leans forward and adjusts his glasses, goes, Lichdom. I will read it verbatim. Lichdom. Not a great start. It is said requires those distracting emotions are left behind. This is not my experience. The betrayal that soured my heart and drove me down this path still stings. Were I capable of sleep, I believe it would keep me awake. Within these pages are the rites and rituals I created and discovered, along with several other powerful mages, to tie our essence to the weave and to Warndell permanently. Whilst our physical forms may wither, may be destroyed, our souls rent from the phylacteries in which we place them, mask the stars themselves, those cursed stars. Within these pages are also the failed experiments in bringing back someone truly lost to us. My attempts to bring back the one I should have protected continue to fail, a statement on my experiences. Failure, death, destruction, sorrow. These pages will unlock in anyone the potential to kill and to rend the fabric of the weave in a way to cause those they loved most of all to return as machines of unstoppable hatred and malice. This is my gift, O fallen star. I knew you were out of my reach, but now I have risen to be able to blot your sisters from the sky. In returning to life those who would act as thrall, all that is required is the majority of the body. A veneer of the soul will remain, though they will obey your wills and whims, as it is just an echo. More powerful than zombies, faster than ghasts, these revenants will protect you in your journey to immortality. My once protector, Baranok, kept his way with his words and his power over song, but now he stands outside of time and life, just outside my door. And then the next kind of like half the book are these detailed runes and these horrific Necronomicon style drawings of like people being vivisected and, you know, horrible imagery. And Cal like speeds through it. And then as he gets to the end, like the handwriting is the same, but the ink, so all that writing is like in this dark brownish black that looks like it was written in blood. At the end, the ink has changed to this more vibrant green, and it the ink looks like it was added like literally like 100 years later, but in the same hand. Had I known, I would not have started this path. My heart is dead. My fingers are cold. I am capable of feats beyond the imagining of what I was. The one thing I wish to change, I cannot. I wish I could have been enough and understood she did not wish to return. Look at what wonders I have wrought. Karasina's legacy, death to everyone under her immeasurable shadow.
Laffy's going to get up and walk out of the room.
What was that name, James?
Karasina. I would not want to live like this. Oh, sweet star, would you ignite me and burn me? Fate is a wheel. I will not make the mistakes again and tell you what I could not, for yours were set most high, those 3 words, and then it kind of peters out.
James, I really tried at the start.
Continue that.
Thank you. Because I started, and by like midway through the first sentence, like, I'm not. This is too many words. Too many weird words that I can't type quickly enough.
Oh, fuck, it's too long to send. Okay. Yeah. The pages are scorched as if damaged by spells, especially at the end. I'll send you that in 2 pieces.
Pages. It doesn't have to be right now, but
there you go. I just had it in Notepad, so
thank you.
There you go. So he reads that and he kind of sits back and he doesn't really look too closely at the pictures, and he looks out to see Laffy's gone, and he kind of like closes the bag and looks at the bag of holding, and goes, "Well, I don't know really."
Thank you, Cal. Lorelai's just gonna put if no one is holding the book currently, she'll just put the book back in the bag and just go to walk after.
Before you put the book back in, like take a quick look.
Have at it. She just takes it back and just goes and like just leaves to go and find where Laffy went.
Okay.
What was it you're looking for, Ryan?
You mentioned the bit that Cal kind of skimmed over because there were some diagrams there that were kind of gross. You also mentioned there were some runes there, so I was wondering if I could have a look at them, see if I recognise any of the runes that are being used there. I don't know if you, what check you'd want me to roll for that.
Do you speak? You can read like comprehend. If you cast comprehend language,
I can pop the comprehend language. Oof.
That's fine. No, I know what it does. You'll just need to cast a spell for it. So can you make an Arcana check, please?
Mm-hmm. Cool. 22.
Might help if I looked at fucking roll 20. So yeah, you look through it and you can see these runes immediately are incredibly detailed. So how this particular, like, basically what this person has done, this Lich call themselves the Unforgiving, is they've started with a basic rune, say like a rune of evocation, like a cantrip of evocation. So say, let's take Firebolt as an example, and then developed it. Like it's like an art form, like it's grown legs, and so they've developed this firebolt that basically is summoning like the elemental soul of fire itself, and then placing that into like it literally searing it into the page so that the power resides within the rune itself. And then from there, if they were to sketch that into the air, it would be like a disintegration or something, like a really heavy powered evocation spell. It's so detailed and descriptive and skillful that you think about it, this may well be beyond you completely. Like this would, if you spent your entire life, like the rest of your natural life, just practicing this one thing, maybe you could do it and it would maybe kill you, like the effort of it. This is, someone's path down to lichdom that they have managed to like staple themselves onto like the actual magic itself.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I will just close the book. This guy, whoever wrote this book, was insanely powerful then, and I'm guessing he's a lich somewhere, or was a lich.
If you can all make history checks, Faith in the Dead would apply here. Unsurprisingly, with liches. You've got it 3 times today.
I know.
17.
Oh man,
This is the same thing. I'm tired of the campaign. So say history.
History, yeah.
History, sorry.
I'm gonna take my advantage because I haven't used it today.
Ooh, 16.
Oh, James, do I get evil mages?
12.
Yeah, I'll give you that. Yeah.
So it's a 16 plus, what's it, D8?
I have an 11.
A 20. I will tell you this: the Unforgiving was like the names of the liches have been scored from history. No one knows really. But it was like an active choice to remove as much as the information from them from the world as possible. Specifically with the conversation with Runo, like that there's an active spell in place to have people forget about it, but there's like whispers and some mentions in books that have missed it. The Unforgiving was one of the first, probably the first of the liches. The one who brought the majority of the mages together,
Mm-hmm.
and they all had really emo names.
Like,
And this,
yes,
like
bring
the
it.
Unforgiving. No, like the Unforgiving. They were not one of the last ones to be destroyed. That information has kind of been lost to time, but that some liches were kind of destroyed before the big end of the war. It's not really like I don't want to sound like a livist, but liches all look the same to me.
Wow.
Yeah, but as before we carry on with that though, you were following Laffy out the room.
Yeah, probably after Cal had finished, would have walked out.
Mm-hmm. Where? Oh, I'll tell you what. I'll drag you back to the map because I'm looking at the world map here. That probably isn't very helpful. Here we go. Yeah, there we are. So, what's going on?
Thanks.
If Lorelei walked into the room, Laffy would be.
I mean, she would knock.
You'd probably just hear like sniffles or like shaky breath.
I think she would like wait a second, then in Laffy's head, through not going in yet. Just in Laffy's head, be like, "Can I come in? Is everything alright?"
You can come in.
She would very slowly step in.
The shoe's on the other foot here fully because Laffy's the one having a panic attack right now. I don't know how Lorelei's going to deal with that.
Neither do I.
but very
Rusty,
like,
get in it!
very like trembly hands, like can't take a deep breath, kind of like maybe like moving between sitting down and like pacing, like she's very like stressed.
Lorelei would like immediately like step in, close the door, and just like take a few steps forward and just be like, right, like in front of Laffy, not like touching her, just in case she wants like space. Because I know sometimes when you're in one of the situations, you don't want a bunch of like physical contact. Like stand beside the bed, be like, "Is everything alright? What happened?"
The book, it's Arassi's book.
Do I
And
know that
Karasina is Arassi's sister. And the star that she's referring to, I think it's me.
So, Wolf, you grew up next to a perpetual field of flowers that was called...
I was trying to... I knew the name. I was
Field.
just... I knew the name, but I couldn't remember where I knew it from, specifically.
Yeah.
Arassi.
You grew up next to a field where the name Arassi was perpetually there in ever-blooming flowers.
Me, the player, knows that was linked, but Lorelei had no idea, so... Sorry, can you say that again?
So... Arassi and Karasina were my old friends from before, and Karasina died, and I couldn't bring her back like I did with Lou, and I think Arassi did something really bad. And I don't know what to do.
Well, did you like put the bag of holding down on the ground? Take a breath. I know it's difficult. just take a breath in, and just look at me. I know I've been in situations, panic situations before. Just take a moment. She's like thinking. Lorelei would like sit on the side of the bed and just like gesture if Laffy wanted to sit down next to her.
I think she would.
So, this book belonged to which one of them? You think?
Arassi. I know.
Okay. And okay,
It was her spell book.
I see.
I knew it as soon as I saw it. I don't know what happened.
Well, it might not be nice to hear, but I don't think there's a way to know what happened that we can do at this moment. I know there are magics that can show it, but I can't do that. I'm not entirely sure what to say, but I know the name, it's the field, Arassi, it's the field by where I grew up.
I never knew what happened. I don't remember a lot. I just have...
Lola would just be like, slow down. That's because she's laughing, speaking very quickly.
I remember bits and pieces. There was a big fight, and Karasina died, and Arassi wanted me to bring her back, but I couldn't. I tried really hard, but I couldn't. And I think she hated me for it. And that's the last thing I remember. and I didn't know what happened to any of them. And this is awful. And I don't know what to do with it.
It sounds weird, but at this current moment, I don't think there's anything that can be done with it. It was, to my knowledge, years and years ago. And I don't think there's much to be done right now. But if you think of something or need something, I'm always here to help you.
I think she'd just give you a very, like, through tears, soft smile. And then probably, like, take a big deep breath and, like, stand up and, like, try and compose herself. There's coffee in the kitchen.
I maybe water. If you want to stay in here for a minute, that's fine. I'll stay with you if you need.
I should probably tell everyone. I don't know how.
Well, you could just say you recognize the book from before and are aware of who it belonged to, and the fact that you recognize some of the names.
This is a question for James from me. How much would Laffy know about liches?
You would know what one is. Like, you would know that a lich is, like, not the natural, like, peak wizard, but the it's like they are as close to mortals becoming gods as is possible to be, like transcending 9th level spells, powerful, effectively immortal, like cannot really be killed by violent or
that's what
natural
my
means.
next question was: are they immortal?
So they can be destroyed, but it's Voldemort is a classic example of a lich. They put their soul in something called a phylactery, which, if that isn't destroyed, will just regenerate their bodies like within days at full power.
If a lich, like, say with this book, obviously it was Arassi's book. If Arassi didn't have this book, would that not affect anything? They'd still be like, they could still be alive. Or would she have needed this book
when
to...
Book seemed to be like the writings of becoming a lich.
Yeah.
But I think once that had been done, I don't think
they don't need
the
the
necessary. Yeah.
So there's a chance that Arassi's still out there liching about.
Well, James just mentioned to me. James just mentioned we know that the Unforgiving.
Well, you know that all of at the end of the Lich War, all of the liches were destroyed, and all the phylacteries destroyed. But there was wording in that book that said that their souls and their bodies even their phylacteries may be destroyed, but they had imprinted their minds and power into the weave. So for those who aren't 100% familiar with it, in D&D, the weave is just the concept of magic.
Okay.
That is how magic works. Yeah, the ley lines of magic. And so they had the several liches that were behind the atrocities of the Lich War, which I will remind you, because it's a long time since we talked about it. Their plans were to overthrow the two countries, because there were only two countries at this point, kill Yadra and Algad, the dragon, and the giant, and force cooperation of all the city-states, basically under immortal rule of the people who thought they were the smartest. And everyone was like, no thank you, none of that today.
No liches today, thank you very much.
No liches today, thank you very much.
The thing
Slap him.
The thing that's sticking out in my brain is the bit about blocking your sisters from the sky.
Mm-hmm.
Would Laffy have any idea what that means? Because obviously she's here now.
During the war, when Laffy left, was before the war had started.
Yeah.
She returned. She disappeared. One sister did come. At least one sister was here during the war that you know about. which was the one whose name I
which one
forgot.
was
Who,
it? It
Runo
was
killed.
Rhea.
Rhea. That was
Rhea,
it.
the one who
Who is
Runo
Steel.
used to power the end of the Lich War. She was around for like this Lich War lasted for like 250 years. This is a long time it went on for, and the she was only there for like the last 60, 70 years of it. So it was probably one of the things the Liches did was like, especially if one of them knew you and didn't want any interference from these powerful beings. These guys have got the potential to cast like spells like Wish and Hallow, like it's no problem. So they could have well set up barriers to prevent people coming. And you don't know specifics, but at some point, at least one of the sisters got through.
Is a thought that I've had. We know one person who was alive during the war.
You know, two.
Bruno.
Bruno, I was going to say Swan, who was alive and fighting. I guess they both were. One thing to do is ask them specifically when Rhea showed up.
That would be one for Runo. From what you know of Swan, she didn't. If she encountered Rhea, she wasn't aware of what was going on.
Yeah, okay. But then specifically, like, if we ask either of them about the Unforgiven, we can maybe date to see when, like, stuff about them happened. Because if we can date that, then we can maybe see if that links with anything.
What we'll do, in the interest of expediency and time, is if Laffy is willing, we will make that information readily available to the entire party.
Yeah.
So we can get thoughts and Rusty. I imagine you've come out of the room. Rusty is like
Puffy-eyed and sniffly.
Rusty sits you down and starts bringing you banana pancakes because he has nothing in his quiver to deal with this. Your mouse to Lorelei, help me. Riptide kind of like sits back, very, very stony faced, like glaring at this bag and glaring at the door, like she knows not to shoot the messenger, but sometimes you really want to shoot a messenger.
Yeah.
So they're the two NPCs. They are not going to bring any proactivity to this conversation. I would like the party to decide what to
I
do.
think the banana pancakes are very proactive, James. How dare you?
Sorry?
It's not. It's none of you were around at the time. It's not. It's nobody's fault. It's just. It's hard to hear. Because she was like. We were very close. And I feel like I failed. Because if I could have brought Karasina back, then this wouldn't have happened.
Well,
A lot of things wouldn't have happened.
we know you're powerful, and we know you were able to turn into a dragon before, or fight a dragon. So I don't think that was your fault. I feel like something was stopping you.
I also think this friend of yours who became the Unforgiven.
I think Laffy would like wince every time the Unforgiven was said, slightly. Yeah.
I think if she didn't become it, someone else would have. This Lich War. Sometimes something like this is just bound to happen.
At some point.
I don't think you should throw blame on yourself for something that happened 250 years ago. So,
yeah, can we date everything specifically?
I think the Lich War itself was like 200.
Well, the Lich War ended about 75 years
about
ago?
90 years ago.
90
years
ago.
95 years ago, yeah.
Well, so we know Laffy obviously left before the start of the war.
Laffy hasn't been there for about 350 years.
350, thank you. So if Laffy hadn't been there for 350, do we know what race Arasi was? Obviously, she turned into a lich.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
it is.
have it actually.
She's an elf.
She's an elf. Cool.
Yeah.
So that means yeah. So, and we know it lasted for about 200 years, so it would have been relatively soon after, within 10 to 25 years.
After Laffy left, obviously I can't give you the exact date.
Yeah, I'm just trying
Lich
to
War
guess.
happened it basically started very, very quickly, like almost without warning. Like basically these people got together, did some serious swatting up, and within say like 5 or 6 years had like pooled all their resources. There had been liches before, but this was like a conglomeration of them, a lich pod, if you will. And yeah, and so what had happened is the 7 of them kind of came around like very, very quickly. Each one focused on a different school of magic. And she and then they attacked different areas very, very quickly, killing as many people as they could to basically feed an army, and then launch different attacks. At first, now this wouldn't be like super common history, but I think it would be like you could find it easily enough. So I'm not gonna make you roll for it, but basically there were two attacks directly at the dragon and at the giant, and they were almost successful. But the dragon and the giant were just too powerful.
I've just realised something really funny. Cal has no idea that Laffy is a little sister.
No, he has no idea.
Oh, right. I always forgot about
He's
that.
probably like,
I feel like he had thoughts though, right? Like,
I think I was going to mention this. Like when you got back, Cal will have like maybe thought he'd said something wrong and like said something. I'll tell her I'm sorry and like I'll speak to her later, kind of thing. Like not quite understanding if he's upset you, but wouldn't be around for this. I don't really think it would benefit him to be around.
Fair, yeah.
And then I also think Cal was the person who identified the star patterns with her freckles and stuff. So I feel like he'd have an inclination.
He's
smart.
He is smart, but like there
You wouldn't assume that.
Yeah, you wouldn't assume that. Yeah, like
Yeah,
there
it's
are
just
things
so
like tattoos
outside of the norm that I don't think that would come to like a rational
I
mind.
guess.
Yeah. Like he
I mean, if someone
works
begins
around
to
with
weep
Timothy, who
after hearing
calls
about
himself
the
Blessed
Civil
of the
War,
Moon.
That's true.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
If someone here begins to weep about the like the founding of America, I don't think they're like a founding father or something like that.
Yeah.
At least I wouldn't. I'm not American, so
my
maybe
name
you
is
do.
also George W. Washington or whatever his fucking name was. But anyway, so yeah, he wouldn't be about, but you would
I
know.
talk about Washington Bush.
George Washington now.
Yeah.
So
George W. Washington. George Washington.
Washington. Yeah. What was I going to say?
I don't know.
So you would know. So basically, what happened after the initial wave of attacks failed, the liches became far more strategic. But by that point, there had been enough of a backlash for people to organize themselves around them, and that's when like the war properly started. So there were 2 massive attacks, like literally from the center of the country, marching directly to let's call them the poles, the southwest and the northeast. Like literally a line of attack. They were forced back. The ones in the north were forced back much further because there was an absolute wealth of magical items there, and then they recentered in kind of the central west of the map as they built their towers and started generating an army around.
Luckily, we had a Hulk.
Yeah, and so at that point it became much more proactive fighting and warfare as we know it, but and then it kind of escalated, meaning that then the constructs came out, and then the Lifespring Alliance the Tears of the Moon, were born out of like the desperation of it.
I have like 2 or 3 questions because I'm just trying to figure out things. So 1, do we know when the Lich War started?
You would know it would be,
or can we find that information relatively easily?
It would have been about 10 years. It would have been about 340 years ago. There isn't like a definitive date because like a lot of stuff happened very, very quickly, and there was other stuff going on at the same time. Like,
so you said Laffy left about 300 years ago.
350, and the Lich was started within about 10 years of that. Probably between like 5 and 10 years after that. Yeah.
But can with the book, because obviously you said it's very old. Can we date past this book to older than that?
You would have I was when you look at like the first part of the book, when it's like a first level adventurer's spellbook.
Yeah.
You would see that like that was probably 20 years before it started going lichy.
Okay.
No, maybe less. Let's say like 15, but yeah, like 15, 20 years, something like that.
Sure.
I have a question.
Mhm.
Do the 7 liches that caused the start of the Lich War that are like liches of different schools of magic? Do
Mhm.
we know that they were part of different schools of magic, or is that a bit common knowledge?
So,
Was
8 schools
Runo-
of magic. 8 schools of magic. So.
Runo mentioned
Yeah.
it to us when we dropped him off, being like, "Oh, you know, here's the secret thing about that."
Yeah. Using the book and what I found out about those really intricate runes that sort of took on a life of their own, can we extrapolate if the Unforgiven was the Lich of evocation?
Yeah. Well, you can. I would say.
Actually, yeah.
that
Can we ask Laffy which school of magic that Arasi was good at? Because I think that would tell us.
I mean, my brain immediately went to necromancy.
I mean, of
because-
course.
So you would, when you were with her, like when you were traveling with her, it was more conjuration stuff.
Yeah.
But to become a lich, it's like you have like to learn all the European languages. You have to learn all the European languages, kind of thing.
Mhm.
And so it was conjuration stuff. Like a lot of the stuff she did. When you knew her, was bringing things that people wanted and people needed into existence. Like she would conjure little trinkets and then or make something like magical. And like she was exceptionally talented at that. Like she usually conjuration wizards could maybe make like I don't know, like an abacus. I don't know why I picked an abacus, but like a small thing, like a small handheld item. She could make something much more intricate. Like she could summon diamonds and stuff like this, and she would sometimes be able to summon stuff that was permanent, like little imagine like resin jewelry and stuff like little tatty bits that she would make as gifts for people, like when she was a person. So
Okay, I would pass that on.
Okay.
But
I think there's a good way to tell.
Yeah, but like you look at the rooms. There's evocation rooms, there's abjuration rooms. There's like a
Yeah,
whole
it's just a
section on
mix.
conjuration, and like there's channeling objects built from the weave. So like objects of pure magic, which would be something she's conjured, even though it wouldn't have like an intrinsic value. You can literally like 3D print shit, like Damiel could, and like just 3D print it and then put it into like a power cell, and that would have started like the creation of a phylactery, and she could have conjured her conjured a separate shell for her own body and stuff like that.
So I mean, I know it goes without saying they would have been in D&D terms pretty high level by the time Laffy left.
Yeah, like when Laffy left, she would have been like,
because I picture 17th.
17th to 20th. She would have had access to Lich. Yeah.
Okay.
Laffy's lore goes hard.
Mhm.
That's all I'm going to say.
Can you
Maybe
send
Laffy's
me...
the edgy one.
Can you send me the extract from the book, specifically the last bit, because the bit after
I can
Caracina was
send it to
mentioned?
you if you want.
Because there was something mentioned about Star.
There was a few times. There was
It was
Oh
mainly
Sweet
the last
Star
bit.
by
She
the
wouldn't have-
end.
Yeah.
I'll drop it in your chat.
I mean, no, the biggest bit of Star mention was in a small bit. This is my gift, O fallen star. I knew you had my reach, but now I have risen to be able to blot your sisters from the sky, which was the second paragraph.
Oh, sweet star, would that you would ignite my heart and burn me. That bit.
So, any questions from the rest of the party? I've been sat on that for 7 to 8 months. Wait,
I'm glad.
Fucking bag of holding.
No, I don't. My mind is blank. Sorry.
Okay.
Doesn't feel great, does it, Peru?
So, yep. Hang on.
No. Do you know how William got a hold of this book originally?
Do I?
I'm
asking James.
Yeah. So before this all kicked off, before the prequel episode we did with Lou, William hadn't had this book for long, right? It had it maybe a couple of months. It arrived to him through like one of his couriers, like one of his like illicit people. Like it moved through a few hands before it arrived to William. I don't. You can roll a history check to see what information I can give you. I need to open up my OneNote because it's been so long since I looked at that. Actually,
can I add my D6 to this?
What's your D6?
My knowledge from a past life.
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
Were
And I'm also using my advantage.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah.
12
15.
at 3, 15.
Okay, so there was a you know that he's been dealing with like trying to make himself live forever for a long like even though like literally thought was out of reach, like all the workings of that have been lost forever. You know that he was looking into all sorts of ways to achieve that immortality. He had a contact, a guy called Lord Lydiane.
Can you repeat that name?
Lydiane.
Lydiane.
Lydian.
So that's cool.
And this was a exceptionally long-lived Aarakocra from the north, and it had been with him for a while. And basically William had been like dealing with him and working with this like basically a strange cult. He hadn't been with this guy for a super long time. Basically, let's see what you've rolled. Let me see how much I can give you. I can't give you much more than that, really. It's just Lydiane. I'd give it to him.
Yeah, okay. I give that information to everyone. Yeah, that's everything I remember or know.
Hey James.
Yeah.
Can I ask you questions?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He escaped after him.
Bitch. Hey,
that was perfect timing. That was so good timing.
Hey, are you sure you're pronouncing that second name right?
I'm probably
and
pronouncing it wrong.
Kenku, not Aarakocra?
Kenku, yeah, sorry, yeah, definitely a bird.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
How was it meant to be pronounced? Sorry, how's it meant to be pronounced? Lydian. Sorry, Lydian.
I wrote it down. I was like, hold on.
I recognize that name.
Beth hasn't missed anything. The only people who might recognize the name are Peru and Amber, not Azalea and Lou. Because remember the one shot where we died?
The one shot! Oh no, we're so fucked.
Yeah, we don't talk about that anymore.
Okay, cool.
That takes you back over a year. That does.
Beth, you weren't there, so it's fine.
You weren't there, yeah. There was a prequel one shot, and it's still up on available people to listen to, where there was a group of adventurers who came across someone who was trying to approach lichdom from like herbology. Basically, they were trying to grow the good Kush until they became immortal. They had a very unusual way of achieving immortality, which was essentially possession. And I TPK'd the party.
Oh,
you TPK'd them because you gave me a wand of wonder. That's why.
I gave you a wand of wonder, and one of them's personality was completely absorbed by this.
Not my boy.
By this. I mean, this would not be common knowledge, right? Your characters would not know this information. However,
I do.
However, now, like I've said it, now like Lou mentions like Lydian, perhaps Wolf is reminded of some of the. Lorelei is reminded of some of the iconography in the first haunted house.
Oh my god. Okay.
When I said we've been sitting on this for 7 to 8 months, like, do you know that meme of fucking Charlie Day with all the red strings? Yeah. Who is Pepe Sylvia? Yeah.
Hey James, you should be really thankful to Wolf for the idea, because I would have never read that fucking book. Ever.
Oof.
Not my bird boy.
Not my bird boy. And also for Aeon, when that name is like, if this comes in conversation, there's like all some of the dominoes start to track down. Some of those mentions, some of those references that pop up in conversation remind you a lot of the guy who had convinced your brother to be a complete and utter fucker wanker.
Oh.
Not a wanker.
I mean, that kind of like softens it a little bit. I mean, it's a bit more than just a wanker, wasn't he?
Little bit.
I don't know, dude. Sounds like a pretty wanker thing to do.
Yeah. It's, suddenly, a few things are visible to the party that have been hanging around behind smoke and mirrors and things that hadn't been quite put together as you realise that this book, intrinsically linked to Laffy's last time on the plane, has been through the hands of someone intrinsically linked to the murder of Aeon's parents, to the person who has, I can't think of a better word, crafted a sister team of perfect killers and loosed them on the world to further his own ends, all under the perhaps could have been more watchful eye of the Midnight Hunt, but it is happening a long way away in the north.
Should we...
Would I know from knowing this book? Would I know if it could be destroyed?
The book?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it should be.
It's a book. There's nothing you can tell by looking at it. Whilst this book has been charged with like magical spells, they're not like spell scrolls. These are not things that Aeon can take and like learn spells from. Like, if you really wanted to, you could set fire to this book right here, right now. I will say, it would almost certainly kill Leia.
Oh no!
Hey, I'm not saying don't do it. I'm just saying.
Would it kill her though?
I mean, she's
under Gias to return the book, and we don't
does
know.
Does Gias kill you though?
It will.
I don't know.
It does psychic damage. It does psychic damage every day if you're not fulfilling the goal. And eventually, I assume, because I think does it reduce max hit points? I can't remember.
It reduces max hit points.
Yeah, so eventually that would kill you.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't know.
I will say it's not an insubstantial. It's not like a massive amount of damage each time. You would basically be consigning this woman to die slowly over a week.
Well, really,
I'm no moral judgment. I'm just giving you the facts.
No, what I'm saying, this is completely out of character. If we were to destroy the book, and then, I mean, obviously, I don't think any of us has the power currently, but we could dispel the gears if we really want her to live. Obviously, she's not. Like, she did it willingly, which makes it difficult. But if we really didn't want her to die, the way to do it would be to, like, strap her down and stop her from moving and dispel it.
I'm going to say this as Laffy, not me, because this is very in character also, but my main concern is this book, in his hands, are we 100% sure that we can deal with it once we take it to him? Can we deal with him? Because if not...
You might not need to deal with him specifically. If we can destroy the book, well, we could take the book to him and then destroy it before we give it over. Technically, the gears would have been fulfilled.
I don't think he's going to be happy with it.
No, but
personally, if we want to go down the route of destroying the book, and just looks like I assume, since we talk about destroying the book, it's in our heads. Yeah. Looks to Lou and just says, if destroying the book is an option, and you want Leia to live, the gears is the only thing stopping it. It is magic that can be dispelled.
Are you 100% sure? That's an
Can
option.
I make an Arcana check to see if that would be doable?
Yeah, me too. I want.
I mean, what I would say, I'm not sure if it's an option, but if we can break the gears before destroying the book, then there's no worry.
I will allow you to make...
If you can ensure.
I have a question. What exactly does define the book? Can we just destroy the?
Can we give him like a scrap of paper from the book?
I give him all the scraps.
So she would know. She would have seen the book and maybe even handled it. She would know it as a full item. If you were to damage remove, if you were to hand over the spine of the book, that would not count. That would be an anathema to.
What if we were to scribble everything out in the book?
Can we just
He could remove that
black out?
with prestidigitation or mending.
Yeah.
Can we just black out everything?
Redact it. Beth, with a 21, I will give you this, right? Yes, you can remove Gaius via a couple of means. However, you are not always sure, because it doesn't have a physical mark, you are not always sure whether or not you've been successful.
Yeah.
So you could cast Remove Curse, and the spell
Is
would
it a
land,
curse?
and I would make you roll. But like, this is just an example. Right? In this instance, it is not a curse because she accepted it. She didn't. So she's done this willingly. It's basically a contract that she signed willingly. If you were to cast it, the spell slot would go. I might make you make a check. You would have no idea whether or not that spell had been successful until she tried to go against the agreement.
Here's my question. If we destroyed the book, but Leia didn't know that we destroyed the book, would she still be fulfilling her contract by taking it to William?
She would be unable to fulfill her contract.
Yeah, but okay, here's the question. What if
Does she actually have a time limit on the gears?
it's probably
Every day
high
she
level.
doesn't do it, it
Yeah, so
physically
basically
hurts her physically.
Yeah, so if the plan is to go to the north and there is a reasonable timescale for that, like you guys will need to prepare, like you're talking about getting a boat, that's legitimate. That's fine. If you guys are like, well, we're just gonna put our hands in our pockets and wait 20 years, at that point she's not doing anything to actively take the book.
Okay, can I ask, James? So obviously, Beth mentioned destroying the book without Leia knowing. If we were to destroy the book and then, I guess, act like we're taking it, if that makes sense, destroy the book and just go anyway without Leia knowing the book was there or not. Like if it's in the bag of holding, because she's known it's been in the bag of holding the entire time. So if we just act like it's still in the bag of holding, what would that be classed as?
She would be unable to fulfill her gaze.
Yeah, but how would that be known?
She wouldn't need to know. The magic.
That's true.
Right. So
what if I write a new book called The Tome of the Unforgiving that is just...
It would be different from the books you physically handle.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying this is a bad idea. Like, perhaps if there's a way to duplicate the books somehow.
Yeah, you know, like the, what's the thought experiment called? The book, the Boat of Theseus, I think it is.
Theseus, yeah.
Yeah, if I just make an if I rip out all the pages of the old book, write in new ones, no one knows, it's still the Book of Unforgiving. There's no...
You know what, I was actually
still the
thinking
same
more,
book.
I was thinking more like Schrodinger's book, since it's all in the bag of holding. I mean, it's destroyed and not destroyed at the same time.
So, for example, if you were to dump the book in the astral plane, she would have no way, really, of finding it. And like she was confident that you hadn't dumped it in the plane of fire.
Fire's a mountain.
Because at that point she would be unable to fulfill the Gaia, so that's why she was.
Yeah, so if it was still there, like still somewhere, but not.
As long as it was within the scope of her being able to find it and reach it. So for example,
what if we took it to the astral plane, ripped the bag of holding, hypothetically, it's in the astral plane, and we say, Leia, the book's in the astral plane.
No way of plane shifting. So she
we find her a plane shift scroll and have her die in space.
Well, okay. So my thinking is this: William, realistically, is gonna continue to try and find a way, like whether he has the book or not. So William has to go.
Either William has to go or the book has to go.
Well,
no, I think William
this is my thing. Yeah, this is my thing. If the book is destroyed, Leia dies. That's one side of it. That's very unfortunate for Lou, not for Leia. She's a bitch.
Not for anyone else.
I'm so sad. Anyway.
Yeah. Oh, boo-hoo. Anyway. No, if the book is destroyed and Leia dies, William is going to continue to try and find a way to either become a Lich or become immortal or do something. He's going to keep doing what he's doing. He's not going to let the fact that book is gone stop him. He's going to find something else to do. So, in my opinion, whether William gets the book or not, William has to die.
I agree.
Now, my thinking is we keep the book in the bag of holding. We continue with the plan. We get a boat. We go to the north, to the nets. We deal with William if we can. We have to really figure out if we can do that, because I don't think it's going to be something that we just waltz in and say, haha, bye, because this guy has means and ways of doing things. We know that. But once we get that book to William, Leia's Geas is fulfilled, and hopefully that will be enough to make her side with us and help
But
us.
we have no way of knowing that. She could done with the gears and then kill us.
Yeah,
She
I know
did tell
that.
us that the Gears was
So
a decision, like she chose to be put under it.
maybe then we have to find a way to have our own kind of gears on her.
Gearception.
Is that
I
something
can
that we could
Gears
do?
on gears on gears.
Yeah.
But
If-
maybe we could have something in place like a gears, so that when her so basically when we're there in front of William, she can't then turn on us and be on his side, because we need all the help we can get.
Leia isn't as loyal to William as I thought she was.
I
And
hate to say this, Lou, but you don't know her anymore. You can't say that. You don't know. Because you
Lou
haven't been
looks-
there.
Genuinely disheartened at that, just sits down again. Just
I'm not saying that to hurt you. I'm just saying you. Is that the same person that you knew? The things that she's done? Is that the sister that you knew?
No.
Then realistically, that is our only knowledge, is what you know of your sister. And if that's not the same person, we don't know what she's capable of. So we need some sort of insurance in place that she isn't going to kill us the second that she can.
Yeah. It's been a while and she hasn't made a move out of that room. Lorelei, is she actually still in there?
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's still there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Cheers.
All this conversation, I assume, has been going on in the head. The only time she would have stirred or made any like significant movement would have been when she would have heard Cal's voice, but she would not have left the room. She is, I don't know what she's doing. She T-posing.
Asserting dominance.
She's playing with
She's playing with
the
Harold.
marbles I left
There
her.
you go, yeah. I'm not
but yeah, so it's
saying-
yeah, she's fun.
Yeah, I'm not saying that we should lock her up, put handcuffs on her and carry her around with us. I want to give her the benefit of the doubt in the same way that we did with Lou. I don't particularly want her coming to the event, and I don't particularly want Lou to miss out on it, even though I am upset with you. I think we need to come up with a plan for this week, which is, in my head, find Werbiduskidle, figure out a boat, go to the fancy event, have some fun in the midst of all of this, and figure out step-by-step plan of what we're going to do, because there's a lot happening.
I also put this in my cards, but you remember that blackboard I mentioned to you, the one from the Divination Wizard?
Mm-hmm.
Before we came to Haven Oral, Leia deduced that she knew me and kidnapped her. That was the original reason I left the meeting with Swan. She has been kidnapped, and
Might be worth asking Leia more about that. Because
Yeah.
if that's something we can do while we're still
But
here,
if we
she's still
manage to save her, she could maybe use her divination to help us find the artificer. I can't say the name.
Well, I think we can find him. Leia probably knows where he is. If not, I think that the Silverhook have interacted with him once or twice.
Should I call her over?
maybe just you and her. I don't think she'll be as open with all of us.
Okay.
Don't think she likes me after breakfast.
Or
I don't
me.
think she likes anything.
I don't really.
I
think
definitely don't
likes
like her,
Any
so-
one of us particularly.
Mm.
As you are talking, you there's a busy street outside. You hear a knock from way downstairs and some muted conversations as it seems like normal life is resuming downstairs.
We go downstairs. Have they
Yeah.
fixed up all the damage, or
You haven't
Or
seen,
is
but
it-
they were working quite late in the night, and you've heard stuff happening as well. Like you've heard stuff going on today.
I feel bad that we just left them to deal with it.
I didn't realize that afterwards. Well, we probably
Don't
helped in
worry
the
about
did
it.
the
day.
midnight
Yeah, you
hunt,
helped a lot
but,
in the day. Yeah, and like when you went to sleep, like 99% of it was done, apart from like fixing, like the repairing the glass. At which point, like they've just locked the rooms, and all your stuff is out of them anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
I worry is the bloodstains in the carpet where Fred was.
I'll probably pull it up. Don't worry about it. Wooden floors. Okay, so I'm gonna put together a plan then, if everybody's okay with it.
Yeah. Let me talk to Leia first. Maybe she'll reveal information that might change things.
As you get up to walk over to the room, you hear a very soft on the door.
Oh,
Yeah, like a knock
Did you
on the door.
just?
Oh,
Wait,
Uh,
sorry, say that again?
Like a little knock
She
on the
locked
door.
it.
Oh, no.
Our door. Sorry.
On like, the
oh!
main
I
door,
thought
yeah.
she locked the door. Yeah,
I thought she
Oh,
locked
yeah.
her door.
Yeah, I was about to ask. Did you just lock the door when I was about to
I would
enter?
love to imagine also she waited to lock the door until someone walked up just to be a bitch.
Yeah, just to be extra
Yeah.
annoying. Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
So you hear a soft rap on the door.
I mean,
yeah, I'll open it.
I'd be walk over.
Okay, you open the door. You see in front of you is this quite short. We're gonna say like 4'10".
Wait, what are
young...
you doing in my room?
No, this is the
no,
front
this is the front door, like the front door. A young
Yeah,
4'10", like tiefling. For a vibe of description, go for like schoolgirl-esque, very very young looking tiefling with his like bright red skin, these really wide yellow eyes with like the cat, the cat pupils, really bushy hair, like adorable, like little like weird.
Don't tell me this is Emily.
Like a little Hello Kitty bag. Cal's behind her, and he goes, "Oh yes, here they are. Well, we'll be downstairs if you need me. Thank you." And she
Cal?
turns around and she goes,
Never mind.
"Oh yeah, yes, sorry."
I was about to just ask in his head, who is this?
You can't speak in his head anymore.
Well, I can look at him and speak in his head.
Okay.
We should-
Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. He
Mhm.
goes, "Oh, it's she wanted to speak to you. You hear back that she's not disguised. I checked with detect magic.
Right, cool. Yep.
Okay. She comes and she goes, "Hi, I'm here to
What?
see Leia. I'm Emily."
Oh, for fuck's.
Oh, for